In the heart of a bustling city, where the skyline was punctuated by the sharp angles of glass and steel, stood an office building that housed a myriad of dreams and aspirations. Within its walls, employees hustled through their days, navigating the complexities of their roles while juggling the demands of their personal lives. Yet, beneath the surface of productivity and ambition, a silent epidemic loomed: the pervasive issues of job-related stress, burnout, bullying, and the relentless struggle for work-life balance. Emily was a project manager at a marketing firm, known for her sharp intellect and unwavering dedication. She thrived on deadlines and the adrenaline rush that came with launching new campaigns. However, as the months turned into years, the thrill of her job gradually morphed into an overwhelming burden. The pressure to perform, combined with the relentless pace of the industry, began to take a toll on her mental health. Each morning, she would wake up with a tight knot in her stomach, the weight of impending deadlines pressing down on her like a heavy cloak. Despite her efforts to maintain a facade of competence and control, Emily found herself increasingly isolated. The once vibrant camaraderie with her colleagues dwindled as the competitive atmosphere intensified. Meetings became battlegrounds where ideas were pitted against one another, and the fear of criticism loomed large. The stress seeped into her personal life, where she struggled to find the energy to engage with friends and family. Each evening she would return home, exhausted and emotionally drained, retreating into the solace of her apartment, where silence replaced the laughter that once filled her space. As the months passed, Emily's situation worsened. The constant barrage of emails, the late nights spent refining presentations, and the fear of not meeting expectations led her down a path of burnout. It was a slow descent, marked by sleepless nights and a growing sense of hopelessness. The joy she once found in her work faded into a distant memory, replaced by a sense of dread that accompanied her every task. She felt like a marionette, strings pulled tight by the demands of her job, unable to break free. Compounding her struggles was the toxic culture that thrived within the office. Bullying and harassment, though often dismissed as mere workplace banter, had become an insidious part of the environment. Emily witnessed her colleagues being undermined, their ideas stolen, and credit withheld. The whispers of gossip echoed through the hallways, creating an atmosphere of mistrust and fear. It became increasingly clear that the workplace was not just a site of collaboration, but also a battleground where individuals fought for recognition and survival. One afternoon, as she sat at her desk, Emily overheard a conversation that would change everything. Two colleagues were discussing the recent departure of a team member who had been pushed out due to relentless bullying from a superior. The words toxic and unbearable floated through the air, resonating with her own experiences. It was a wake-up call. She realized that she was not alone in her struggles. The silent suffering of her peers echoed her own, and the realization sparked a flicker of determination within her. With newfound resolve, Emily decided to take action. She began by reaching out to her colleagues, initiating conversations about mental health and the challenges they faced. Slowly, a community began to form. They shared their stories of stress, burnout, and the impact of bullying. It became a safe space where vulnerability was met with empathy, and the weight of their experiences was lightened by the shared burden. Together, they brainstormed ways to advocate for a healthier work environment, recognizing that change could only occur if they united their voices. Emily also sought guidance from a mentor outside the organization. Through their discussions, she learned about the importance of setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care. They explored strategies for managing stress, such as mindfulness practices and time management techniques. Encouraged by her mentor's support, Emily implemented small changes in her daily routine. She began to carve out time for breaks, allowing herself moments of respite amidst the chaos. She reconnected with her passions outside of work, rediscovering the joy of painting and the solace of nature walks. As Emily embraced these changes, she noticed a gradual shift in her perspective. The once insurmountable tasks began to feel more manageable, and she found herself reclaiming her sense of agency. She also became an advocate for her colleagues, encouraging open discussions about mental health and the importance of fostering a supportive workplace culture. Together, They approached management with proposals for mental health resources and workshops aimed at addressing workplace bullying. The journey was not without its challenges. Resistance from some colleagues and management was palpable, and there were days when Emily felt like giving up. Yet, the support of her newfound community kept her grounded. They celebrated small victories, such as the implementation of a mental health day policy and the establishment of anonymous reporting channels for bullying incidents. Each step forward felt like a triumph, a testament to their collective strength and resilience. Through this process, Emily learned the value of work-life balance. She began to define success not solely by her professional achievements, but by her overall well-being. She prioritized time with her loved ones, nurturing relationships that had suffered during her darkest days. The laughter that once filled her apartment returned, echoing through the halls as she opened her heart to joy and connection. In the end, Emily's journey was not just about overcoming her own struggles, but about igniting a movement within her workplace. She realized that mental health at work was not merely an individual concern, but a collective responsibility. By fostering an environment where employees felt safe to share their experiences, speak out against bullying, and prioritize their mental well-being, they could create a culture of support and resilience. As the seasons changed outside the office windows, so too did the atmosphere within. The once stifling air of anxiety and fear transformed into one of openness and understanding. Emily had not only reclaimed her own sense of self, but had also become a catalyst for change, reminding everyone that mental health matters and that together they could build a healthier, more compassionate workplace.